It's time to make up my own mind and decide if I think it's time to break the law.
What are we going to do about it? An overwhelming number of people recognise that we are in danger. They fear for their own lives, children, frightened for the future of life on Earth. No government, no major political party has ever significantly addressed the issue. They haven't been listening to us, the climate activists.
Now, I'm not asking for anyone to break the law. There are so many lawful ways to get involved.
Raise your voice. Post a poster, sign a petition, paint a banner, go on a march, lobby your local MP.
However, for me, myself,
we're in significant and obvious danger. But I've got to raise my voice. If you're an activist that's already made a decision that, yes, you're going to break the law, so long as no one is hurt and there's no lasting environmental damage, then you'll have my support. And personally, I think I've reached a point where I now consider it the ethically responsible thing to do.
So that was the voice of Chris Packham. Now, for those of you like me, old enough to remember, he was well known as one of the hosts of CBBC's The Really Wild Show. I used to watch that programme in my youth back in the 80s. It was him, Michaela Strachan and Terry Nuttall, the guy with the missing finger. And kids really liked it. I liked Chris Packham. He was a bit out there, wasn't he? He wasn't normal. And I guess that's why it made him such a good children's presenter. Anyway, these days he is a naturalist, a nature photographer, a television presenter, an author, and he's also a climate activist / alarmist, and now a would-be criminal, because what he did there was that he advocated that people, climate alarmists, break the law. And to be fair, he did say halfway through that video, as long as it's non-violent and does not produce long-time environmental damage, then these people have his support. So it's okay to do a little environmental damage. The hypocrisy, I tell you, these people. You see, people like Chris Packham, all right, they're all for net zero, etc. And they want us all to go green. It's okay for wealthy socialists like Chris Packham and his ilk to push for these policies, because they're fine with money. They'll be alright for the rest of their lives. They can afford delicious organic food. They can afford really expensive electric cars, so when the battery on one car goes, they'll just buy another car. And it's the same with socialism. It's always the wealthy people, the wealthy lefties who are pushing it. It's okay for them. They don't have to queue for bread, unlike the rest of us plebs. Especially at a time like now when we have the cost of living crisis and they want to push this expensive policy onto us. I don't think so. When these people decide to lead by example, stop flying around, bin their Range Rovers and sports cars, and see what it's like to make ends meet, then maybe then they'd have a change of heart. And to advocate people breaking the law, it's just stupidity. It's criminal in itself, and you know, the plod should be knocking on his door and feeling his collar, taking him down to the station and charging him with incitement. Because these climate alarmists, they'll take this as a licence and think, okay, Chris Packham says we can break the law, let's just break the law. And that means disrupting normal people's lives who are struggling to make ends meet, who are finding it hard, have to work a load of hours on hard jobs, putting food on the table, paying the rent, mortgage, keeping their cars on the road, paying for fuel, which is rocketing up again. But people like Chris Packham, they don't take this into account, do they? They don't care. The Home Secretary, Suella Braverman, she was absolutely right. Net zero, but not at the expense of the British people. The British people can't afford these stupid, expensive net zero green policies. Now, that audio you heard was for a Channel 4 programme he is presenting. So where the hell is Caroline Dinenage MP, Minister for Digital and Culture, with her threatening letters to Channel 4 and to Twitter? Because he still has his Twitter account. Chris Packham is also on YouTube. Why hasn't she written a letter to YouTube like she did to Rumble, asking them to demonetize him and cancel him because he's effectively asking people to break the law. Remember, she's done the same thing because she says Russell Brand has allegedly broken the law without any proof or any charges or any convictions. So, like I said, it's okay when these lefties do it. They watch each other's backs and they cover each other. Chris Packham has to answer for this, and he has to answer via the law. The law must have its due course when it comes to this inciting of breaking the law. And these people, these climate alarmists, they have already broken the law when they stop people in traffic and emergency services couldn't get to hospitals or attend victims. I believe 2 people have died because of this and because of them, and they have blood on their hands. But I won't hold my breath. Nothing will happen. And what we'll have now is an epidemic of middle-class, out-of-touch, wealthy students and professionals who harbour socialist ideologies running rampant, breaking the law up and down the country because Chris Packham said so. And there we go, that's my video. I hope you like. Please let me know what you think in the comments. Until the next time, Roger Trout.